It's just this really cool community of guys and gals that get together and want to sharpen their skills. What drives me to do it is the camaraderie and learning from the greats. My name is Matthew Selivanow, and I am the roaster and co-owner of Kafiex Roasters here in Vancouver, Washington.
Awesome. How long have you been roasting, and what was your path that got you into coffee?
Yeah, well, I've been roasting professionally since 2018 by using a real machine. Before that, I kind of fell in love with coffee. It's a common story, roasting coffee in your stovetop, and then you stumble your way into a popcorn popper, and fell in love with the process. And the stars kind of aligned, and we started doing farmers markets, and not using those two methods to roast, but we were using a little air roaster, a little 2-pound roaster for a couple of years, and then we launched the business in 2018 when we felt like it was a good move.
Yeah, I think I had 3 or 4 roasters say the exact, very similar. Yeah, stovetop and then popcorn. Popcorn popper.
It's a very common story. I gotta think of something different.
I was one of the roasters for the prelims here in Hawaii this season. I think used a popcorn popper and almost won. So that's a pretty interesting, yeah. But
there's a whole community for it. If you go to I think it's Sweet Maria's, you can cut this out, but Sweet Maria's, and they have this whole message forum board for people to learn how to do it with your popcorn poppers.
Yeah, and even the world champion from Austria, Felix, I talked to him, and same thing when he got started. So it seems to be that path and that transition. Yeah,
just cook the beans, make the beans brown.
Could you talk about your path to Portland? I know you've competed before, but what was different this time around? And did you do prelims or did you go straight to qualifiers? Kind of just touch on those points.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my second season competing, and yes, I did go to prelims this time. I wanted to experience that part of it and see if I could get a seat in qualifiers. I know roasters, the tickets fill up pretty quickly, so I went to prelims. I was lucky and I got 3rd place, which got me into a seat into qualifiers. My friend Joe, he was at the computer, he was waiting, and he didn't get a seat into roasters this year, which is really sad. But yeah, we went to qualifiers, and this time around I took 4th place in qualifiers. And I'm really lucky that Nationals is coming here to Portland, which is just in our backyard, which is really cool. SCA hasn't been back to Portland in quite some time.
Yeah, in fact, we were supposed to be there, I think, in 2020, but everybody knows what happened. So yeah, I'm glad that we're running it back and getting to be in your neighborhood the next month.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, and Kafiex itself, I mean, I think you and your partner did very well in qualifiers. Could you kind of talk about that too? Plug her in.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to plug Sadie.
Yeah.
So Sadie is the co-owner of Kafiex Roasters and happened to be married. I'm the lucky one. And this year is her second year competing, or her second season competing as well. And she took 1st place in her qualifying event in Denver for Barista Championship. And yes, I roasted it.
Always great to see, team effort, right? Teamwork makes the dream work.
No, it really does. It really does.
What are you, besides it being in Portland, definitely have the home field advantage, I think, but what are you most excited about going into the roasting championships this year?
One thing that I really enjoyed last year was meeting a bunch of roasters, and this year is even more so. I learned roasting coffee through these type of competitions. I've done a few other roasting competitions, and I've met a lot of great people that have taught me how to roast. It's easy to roast, but it's difficult to roast it really, really well. And it's kind of, the knowledge is out there, but finding somebody that you can chat with and call up and say, hey, so-and-so, I've got this coffee and I'm struggling with it. It's tasting like this. Can I send you some and maybe we work through this? And over the course of the past 4 years, I've done that numerous times. And the people that I've met at competition have stepped up and really helped out. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of egos in it, which I really love. It's just this really cool community of guys and gals that get together and want to sharpen their skills. And that's what I enjoy most about it. Now I want to win. I don't have a plaque yet. I need to get one of those plaques. But what drives me to do it is the camaraderie and learning from the greats.
And you're definitely one of them. You know, you're coming back for the second year. What's your preparation like? Like, you know, can you kind of touch on that? Like, do you have mentors or coaches that you kind of like look to now? And even, you know, you had experience, you know, last year roasting on the Stronghold. Are there places nearby, or do you have to travel out to get some I guess training time to prepare for Portland?
Yeah. So the roasting machine, the Stronghold, we'll start there. There is a gentleman here in Portland, Oregon. Last season, he opened his doors and let us come in and roast. And I'm hoping this season he'll let us come in and spend some minutes on it as well. What was the other question?
Oh, in terms of preparation, like how do you prepare?
Yeah.
Coaches or mentors, or you just kind of go in with what you learned last year and go from there. Yeah.
So mentors, definitely Brandon Burr from Crimson Cup. I've learned a tremendous amount from him. I was lucky enough to take my Q course with him and Todd Arnett over in Ohio. And he's been an awesome mentor. He's someone that I call a coach, but first I call him a friend. And he's taught me so much about how to cup and what to look for and how to manipulate the roast in certain ways to achieve certain results. So having him, you know, kind of cheer me on is a real benefit. As for preparation for the competition, I don't do anything else that's different, I don't think, than any other roasters, you know. To get into the nerdy stuff, you know, we check density, we check screen size and moisture content, and hunt for defects. I think I've been practicing those skills just throughout my everyday kind of roasting career. It's something that I do when we get a new coffee in. I'll kind of go through those same steps. I'll check the screen size, is it uniform? I'll check the density, kind of see like where am I at on its density, and the moisture content. So I've really incorporated what I've learned from competition into my daily practice. And so I guess I'm always practicing at this point for competition.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, because, you know, I talked to other competitors. It seems like prelims and qualifiers, you know, while they're very similar in terms of the format and you get your coffee, you get to roast it on site. For the finals, for the championship, you know, you're roasting on a machine you probably don't have in your shop. And, you know, it's like, even like you said, you know, how to cup, how to roast for such a short amount of time and not knowing the coffee until I think you get there. You know, it really tests, you know, skill set and knowledge and ability to adapt. So yeah, no, thanks for, you know, sharing your knowledge too, and how you approach, you know, competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, or anything else cool that's happening at Kafiex, or are you doing anything? Well, I know you're busy for competition, but anything happening during Expo week?
Yes, so we haven't announced it yet, but we want to announce it. Maybe this will go in conjunction with it. We want to offer free espresso shots to all competitors. So come on in, show your badge. We'll give you an espresso shot or a batch brew, whatever you want, your preference. And we're also going to be hosting a Latte Art throwdown for the whole community. Awesome.
Yeah, and that's great, because you know, now that things are pretty much back to normal, you know, I'm really looking forward to having, like, you know, those kind of extra events happening before, during, and after Expo and USCC. So that's great to hear. Well, right on.
It's the best part.
Exactly.
Getting together with everybody is the best part.
Yeah, and you know, post or, like after competition, everyone's done, it's great to just everyone getting a chance to talk story and hang out. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Matthew, for the time.
Yeah.
Appreciate talking to you, and best of luck. Yeah, great. Looking forward to seeing you compete next month.
Thank you. Yeah, can't wait to see you guys. It's always fun to catch up.